Hi, this is Tara from Stranded by the Sea, and I thought I would give you a little sneak peek at what we have been working on in our Intro to Four Harness Weaving class. We have another session starting in September, so if you are curious, this will give you a little sneak peek into what we have been up to and what the class involves. So in this bag, I have a very portable four harness table loom. You can see it's got a very low profile, fits in this bag. We are using the Erica from Louet for our four harness class. These looms are available to rent as well as purchase if you end up liking it so much that you want to keep it for your own. Of course, if you have your own four harness table loom, you are welcome to bring with you whatever you might have. The Shocked Quartet, which is the add-on for the Cricut, or any four harness table loom will be perfectly appropriate for this class. And techniques that you learn in the four harness class will be translatable to a floor loom or other type of large harness loom that you might have. So in the bag I have this nice little carry bag, so you can easily and quickly take your loom home with you and transport it between classes. This is the loom that I have been using for the class. I like to say that I know enough about weaving to be a little bit dangerous, so we are learning along with you so we can become a little bit more competent and know a little bit more about weaving to assist you with your crafts and what you might be working on. So in the bag I have my Erica all warped up. You can see how low and compact this loom is. So it's very easy to set up. I'm going to go through the steps with you for setup. It has already been warped. We just finished our second of the four series class this week. So the first part was winding the warp and getting the warp on and everything threaded on the loom. And now we are working our way through basic patterns. So I'm actually, you can use this loom on the table, but I'm going to put it onto a stand that is behind me. I'm a little bit shorter framed, and I like to have a loom a little bit lower than table height to be able to comfortably work at it. It's perfectly acceptable to put this on your kitchen table or work on it on the table like we have here in the shop, or you know, on a coffee table or whatever you might want to work on it at home. But I'm going to use the stand both so you can see what the stand is like and how convenient it is, and also so that I can get a good ergonomic position when I'm working at the loom. So I'm going to change camera angles for you and show you how we put it on the stand and how to set up the loom and how quick and easy it is. I'll be right back. So I've just removed the loom from the bag and we're going to place it on the stand. There's just a couple of securing screws on the side here that slot into the top of the stand. So I'm going to slide those in, give them a little tightening to secure them, and then there are a couple of metal rods down here at the bottom. If I just left it like this, the loom would tilt a little bit. So there are some steel rods down here that'll clamp into place. They just slot in very nicely on either side. There are pre-drilled little holes for them to fit. Everything is really well designed and fits together nicely. So from here, if you were using this loom on a tabletop, everything for the rest of the setup would be just the same. So I have completed, and you can see that that was very quick as well to be able to set it up into the stand that's going to hold it. So for the next part, the Erica, you can see that the harness is down in the down position. There's a little frame here that locks into place. There's a couple of channels right here at the main pivot point of the loom. We're just going to lift this frame that's holding the harnesses up out of that and turn it at a 90-degree angle. Just nicely rotates, and then there's some little pegs here that are going to slot in either side down that channel and secures it in place. That's all that you have to do. Just lift it up and rotate it and reinsert it down. I have my class materials here in a little folder that's acting as my warp protector. This loom has already been warped up. So we are halfway through our 4-part class. It's 4 3-hour classes. First class and second class we worked on winding the warp and threading the loom and getting our warp all wound on, and then begun the process of weaving. So I've done a little plain weave on this warp already. ready. So I've got my warp done and on, wound onto the back. Everything is secured there. To begin weaving, all you have to do is clamp the polys in place and wind it to give it a little bit of tension. I'll wind it up on the front and the back. I already have my weft ready and wound on a little shocked open bottom boat shuttle. And make sure we get a nice little bit of tension on here. And we don't want it to be too far forward, so my beater has room to move. And as I said, I fully admit I am a beginner, so you experienced weavers might get a little giggle out of my technique or the way that I'm doing some things or the terminology, so please forgive me. I am just still learning and a newbie. So hopefully we're just going to give you a little preview of what we have been working on in the class and what you might learn if you are also a beginning weaver. So this down here is plain weave. We got our little set of drafts, which are the weaving patterns that we're doing. Plain weave is just alternating every other strand of yarn in the warp that comes across this way and every other strand as we come across in the weft as we weave across. So there's a little pattern for that, and then I have done a couple of rows of the same color of yarn that I've used in my warp to just delineate, and I'm ready to begin a little 2x2 twill pattern. So this is what we're working on before our next class. We're going to complete a few other different styles of patterns in this little sampler, and then in the third and fourth class we will work on some more complex designs as well as some tapestry type techniques and some finishing tips. So I will demonstrate for you a little bit the 2x2 twill and how easy it is to use the Erica loom for working on that. So everything, as I said, is all set up and ready to go. I have my boat shuttle ready, and we are ready to begin. We are going to use and open sheds 1 and 2, and then the next phase is 2 and 3 as we come across back the other way. Then we are going to use sheds 3 and 4 for across this third pass, and then finally 1 and 4 to come back to complete our repeat of pattern, and then that will continue on and we get this nice little diagonal pattern that's forming. Okay, so I'm opening sheds 1 and 2 by pushing down the levers there. You can see these frames, rows, to be able to open up those sheds for me. And I'm going to adjust the camera angle a little bit if I can to give you a view here so that you can see the sheds, how they open and close. So I'll close those again, they lay down, lift them again, and those sheds open for you. So that is the way that the loom is working mechanically, and then that does all of the hard part for you. Zoom in a little bit here for you so you can see the actual pattern as it's being formed. So we are using a floating selvage on either side to help hold and give us a nice clean edge. And then we pass our shuttle through, close our sheds, leave a little bit of slack and beat down, and then we do the next series going the other direction. And the last pass, 1 and 4. Okay, so we've completed one pass of the 2x2 twill. I get in a little zoom here. You can see we have a nice little diagonal pattern starting to form. I'm going to do one more pass for you. So you can see the pattern developing a little bit more. So I left off with 1 and 4 down, so that's the last one that we did. And we're going to move through the sequence again, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, and then 4 and 1. I'm going to tighten that down for me just a little bit more. Help hold things open. More experienced weavers probably wouldn't have that issue. So I'm just trying to be nice and tidy on my edges and leaving myself enough slack so that it doesn't pull in too much. And then here's my last pass of the repeat. Back again. Okay, so there is a second pass of the repeat. You can see we're getting a lovely little design going. It's going to create a nice little diagonal all the way up. I'll complete about 4 inches of that for this series and then move on to the next pattern with a little separation here with the warp color just for a little bit of delineation in between. So that's working on the 4 harness loom with the Erica. It is very simple and straightforward. As I showed you before, it was very easy to set up. I'm going to show you how easy it is to take down when you're done. So you're just going to release the tension on the bars. I'm going to tuck in my bring my beater forward, and I like to secure and tuck in my shuttle there just so it sort of holds in place and it doesn't drop out. Then to protect the warp, we're going to put, I'm using just my materials because I have it in a nice sturdy folder. This is a little plastic folder, but you either want to use like a little board or a bit of cardboard to help protect the warp because we don't want these pegs when we fold it down to push through or snag on the warp. So that's just going to make sure that the warp strands all stay nice and neat. And then the frame just lifts out of the channels there, slides forward, and we do that same little 90-degree rotation, and then we're going to insert the top pegs into those posts, and that's it. The warp is secured, the loom is all collapsed and ready to go home. So I can take it off of the loom. I'm can release those tabs and pack it up and put it in the bag, and it is all ready to go. Very easy to use and set up, very transportable and portable. So that is the Louet Erica loom. This one is the 30-centimeter width loom. It also comes in a 50. We're using the 30s for the class, and as I said, we have these looms available for purchase or to rent for your weaving class. So we hope that you will consider trying weaving. You can do some beautiful table runners, or you are essentially making cloth, so you can use it for just about anything but placemats and table runners. Seam things together for pillows or tea towels. Possibilities are really endless. So thanks so much for watching, and we hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye.